Good afternoon, Facebook. How is everybody doing? So I hope you guys are not sick of me. I've already been on Instagram this morning on both my accounts. But today is a very special day because I'm going to be taking you guys through the #1 asked question of all time, which is which Fascia Blasters do I need and why? So I'm definitely going to get into every single tool, so loosely stand by. But first I wanted to explain a little bit about the science. I think that is so important because ever since the Fascia Blasters launched and people started taking care of their tissue in a new way, all of a sudden now there's these percussion guns and cupping, and then obviously the copycat Fascia Blasters, and everybody's into foam rolling and all of that. So I just want you guys to understand how different fascia blasting is and why it is necessary. So I love any type of therapy for the body. It's like, yes, get your self-care on, but fascia blasting is the only way to actually regenerate the tissue. And to be honest with you, all these other tools, they're not even claiming to do that or even talking about regenerating tissue because they don't do it. So I don't see those things as competition. I just see them as ancillary things that you can do in addition to fascia blasting. But let's talk about what fascia is and why you would want to regenerate it. So first of all, fascia is that head to toe, inside to out, hand to hand, webbing of an energy system throughout the body. It houses our blood, it houses our nerves, it houses our lymphatic system, it feeds our skin, it's an electrical system, it's a communication system. And so having healthy fascia all over your body can have tremendous effects. And I went out and spent about $2 million of my retirement, you're welcome, to really have this thoroughly studied by an independent lab, ASPI, in Tampa, Florida. But what we discovered was so profound, and I just want to share it with you in case you've never seen it. Normally, I show the before and after pictures of the ultrasounds, but I picked just one lady in the study. And I'm going to show you her progression because people, in addition to asking what tool to use, they want to know, does it work or how long does it take to work? And I feel like this shuts the door on that question, okay? So what you're looking at here is an ultrasound of a thigh. And what you see here is the skin layer. And then all of these vertical lines is the fascia that is responsible for the look of cellulite. When this stuff right here is all trashed out, it will pull the skin into those dimples. But that is certainly not the only place that we have fascia. So see this next white line? That would be the top of the muscle, and this is the structural fascia. Then we have the interstructural fascia, which is inside the muscle. Then we have another line of fascia, which I'm gonna show you. I've got some great little props to use today. And then this is the femur bone. Okay, so when we look at someone's fascia that has never ever been addressed, never been brushed out, as we say, this is what it looks like. And as we age, our fascia just tends to get thicker and more tangled. Okay, so this is the before, and then you can see in 30 days things are starting to smooth and there's new collagen fibers being laid down. And then we can see at 60 days, there's a very clear line where the structural fascia is. Look at where her quote unquote cellulite lines were. And then look at all of these gorgeous collagen fibers being laid down throughout the muscle all the way down to the bone from the skin. And then look at 90 days later, okay? And had this happened with one person in our study, this would be groundbreaking. But this happened with everyone in our study, okay? So does it work? Yes. Does it work within 90 days? Yes. And you're not just affecting what's happening at the skin. We're literally talking about changing the infrastructure of the body, which is, I mean, it's incredible. And, you know, a lot of times, and I'm just going to show a few pictures, you know, people will say that, you know, this isn't possible without some type of surgery or laser or something like this. But when we can impact the actual feeder system to the skin, and we can impact the system that houses the blood flow that is largely responsible for muscle definition. It houses the nervous system, which is responsible for so many things, including muscle definition by having the muscles fire. That is how we are able to have these really insane results, because we're not looking at mommy abs, we're looking at the system that's deep, deep, deep inside the body and regenerating it at a root cause level, you know. And then we see things like this in the face, because again, if you're regenerating the system that feeds the skin, as well as releasing stem cells into the skin, then of course you're gonna have results that people just don't understand. You know, and this one I love for muscle definition, because, you know, this is the hardest area of the body to really tone, those glutes and glute hemi tie-in and all of that. But that is because of this, you guys. That is because that the tissue below those muscles in that skin have been regenerated or remodeled. And that is what we found in the scientific study. And again, we used a third party to do it. And then the third party, as well as me, wrote up the conclusions. We had it submitted to the Cogent Medical Journal, which is one of the most respected journals in medicine, for them to say whether this was generally accepted as scientific method and that our conclusions were accurate. And it was, and they published it. So peer review and published science is not one of those things you do not need to ask me if it works anymore. You can take that to the bank. Okay, so that's a little bit on what we're seeing below the skin, but I also want to describe fascia to you, because I feel like there's, at this point, I'm going to call it disinformation out there, because if you Google fascia, you know, everybody talks about how it's like a coating or a casing for the muscle. And I actually used to explain it that way, because it is. That is one type of the 4 types of fascia. So I'm gonna answer some questions as we go. Can I blast after a workout? Absolutely, that's the best time your tissue is hot. Okay, so yes, we have a layer of fascia like this that's right below the skin. And this type of, we call it structural fascia, is what goes in between the muscles, and it does surround the muscles. And you can get, it's sticky, fascia is sticky. So you can get little adhesions like this that cause a wrinkle, right? You can get little adhesions like this that cause waviness in our thighs, okay? But again, that is just the surface layer. So I want to give you a more complete picture. So these red straws are representing muscle fibers, okay? And then in terms of the structural fascia, it's like this, okay? And then all this structural fascia is actually stuck to, because it's all one piece, all of the fascia that is inside of the muscle. So every individual muscle fiber is surrounded by the fascia, okay? So when we talk about, let's just say, a percussion gun, what do you think a percussion gun is gonna do to this? Okay, it may loosen the meat, just like tenderizing a steak, but is it gonna go down and do anything to palpate inside the myofascial tissue? No, okay? If you use a foam roller, it rolls over all of this. Does it get down into there? No, it does not. You know, cupping will suck some blood up out of here and bring that to the surface, and all of that is good, but it still doesn't have an impact on the intermuscular fascia. I see Tina, it looks like Lieberman, is asking about, can blasting help nerve damage? So one of the things that we can talk about at this juncture is that the nerves are housed inside of the fascia. So if we can restore and regenerate the fascia, then that can certainly have impact on the nerves, okay? It depends on if the nerves are severed, but I worked on someone yesterday who was numb and now she's not. So I would definitely say that fascia has a big impact on nerves. Okay, so then again, just picturing that this is where it goes down, you guys, inside the muscle fibers. Imagine, I mean, just picture it logically. You don't even have to trust the science. You need something that actually can get down inside of these individual muscle spindles, these individual fibers, and start to smooth out and restore and flush blood to this interstructural fascia here, okay? So every time that you picture fascia or you read something on the internet and they talk about the casing, just know that there is structural fascia that is on top, but then it is built in to all of this other fascia. And so my tools are designed to affect all the layers of the fascia, even down into the myofascial tissue. And that just makes perfect sense why a small claw tool is needed for the surface and that structural tissue, and then a bigger claw is needed to actually get down into the fibers deeply, and why we need a nugget tip if we really want to get into something that's stubborn and work that out. Okay, so I hope my little straws help you guys a little bit more to understand why other instruments are great for overall therapy, but we're talking about regenerating tissue, which is something that has never been done in the history of mankind other than stem cells at a cellular level. But in terms of the fascia tissue, which again, it feeds the skin. Hello, it feeds the skin. The fascia houses the blood. The fascia houses the nerve. It houses the lymphatic system. It's responsible for the shape of the skin. Oh, that's funny. Mika Anderson says, how do you know it's stubborn? Do you blast, girl? Because if you did, you would know. Because when you are fascia blasting, which I'm going to go into every single tool and you're going to see a lot of it, but as you're fascia blasting, it will start to get smoother and smoother, and then you'll start to feel what's hiding under there and in there. And when you feel those little balls or grains or like big chunks, those are your stubborn tissues. They're basically really, really hard. And I'm going to show you on the ultrasound what stubborn tissue looks like. So when we have things like this area right here, this would feel really hard. And you would have to grind through it. And that's why we have the nugget tip. And that's why that's so important, because we want to give you every tool possible to really make sure that you can go from, you know, this aging, thicker tissue, you know, all the way to this very, very youthful, supple, functional tissue. Okay? So you guys, that was only a few minutes. This is one that you want to save because that explanation just honestly, it answers so many questions for so many people. So I even see like people are asking about disc and people are asking about nerves. Just go back to what I said. In terms of disc in our spine, they are not innervated by blood. They are fed through osmosis through the fascia, right? So if you want to get nutrition into your disc to regrow them, hydrate them, then the only way that you're going to be able to do that is to really restore the fascia. Same thing with blood, same thing with nerves. Think of your blood and nerves almost like a drainage system or something. Like the water should just flow, but if you get a bunch of leaves and stuff backing it up, then just doesn't have anywhere to go. And our blood and our nervous system are really good at rerouting around and kind of figuring it out, but then we're actually losing the nutritional system to parts of our body because of our fascia, okay? So now that you have like a little bit of knowledge, and hopefully, main thing, I just want you to be able to picture this. I want you to be able to picture the surface fascia and then the deep interstructural fascia. And when you're blasting, I want you to visualize this. I want you to see it in your body and know what you're doing and how good it is for you and why you might need a small claw, big claw, and a nugget tip. So most of our packages, you guys, I designed them because that is what you need. You need a small claw, you need a big claw, and you need a nugget tip. These two tools alone could address every type of fascial problem anywhere in your body. So really the name of the game is small claw, big claw, nugget, and then the length of the bar is really just more personal preference in terms of what body part that you're wanting to work on and how much leverage that you're gonna need to get to that. So let's go through our small claw tools, then our big claw tools, and then our nugget tools. And then you guys can kind of see what works for you. And just know that I really do put all of this together into packages and usually discount them 30 to 40%. All of this is on the website. So you can just go and get a package and start with any small claw, big claw, nugget. And then as you really learn about fascia blasting, it'll be intuitive. You'll be like, oh God, I wish I had leverage, or if I could just push with 2 hands or something like that. Okay, so let's start with our small claw tool. If you want to buy any tool from us, I would start with the Fascia Blaster because it is a small claw tool. It's intended for the structural fascia, and any small claw tool is going to address the skin, the fat, the lymphatic system, because those are the systems that are at the surface. It also will release stem cells into the skin just by pressure of these little mini claws, okay? So the mini claws are amazing, and this little tool, it's only about 3 inches. It's great for the face, but this is also great for anywhere on the body. It's great for the arms, the chest. You can get into the abs, you can get into the glutes. You can work, knee, foot, hand, okay? So this is for surface tissue, like any small claw tool, but then the actual size of it really helps you determine what it is that you're wanting to work on your body, okay? Our next small claw tool is our mini paddle flusher, which this one constantly is selling out. People just love it, and I understand why. It makes it really convenient. Now, there are a lot of people that like to be a 1-hand blaster. I tend to be a 2-hand blaster, but with the mini paddle flusher, you can work inner thigh very easily. You can work this glute hammy tie-in. You can work into the glutes, the low back, the arms, the back of the shoulder. You can work into the calves, okay? It's all about the convenience of the size of the blaster, but any small claw tool is going to address the skin, the fat, and the lymphatic system. Now, this paddle flusher tip, we always recommend that at the end of your that you just do like a little bit of lymphatic flushing just to make sure that all of the inflammation makes it into the trash dump or our lymph nodes. It's like kind of where the body takes the garbage out. So we did a paddle flusher tip, and people love it, and I love it. Okay, our next small claw tool is the size of the original Fascia Blaster. This is called the Master Blaster. This is the tool that I personally love for my neck because you can get a ton of leverage like this just with 1 hand. You guys can probably already see getting red. That's the blood flow right there. Anyone who struggles with the Dowager's hump here, that is just a buildup of fascia, and you can use the Master Blaster so effectively here, but it's also great anywhere on the body. I know my ladies out there love this for the glute hamstring tie-in, you know, and you can even single handle this to really smooth out the area right below the glute. Obviously, amazing legs, inner thighs, abdominals, great for that diamond technique. Okay, so just so many uses for this small claw Master Blaster. And then last but not least, definitely not least, for our small claw biggest tool that we have is the Paddle Blaster. Okay, so this is giant and it has 26 mini claws. Now for me, I am all about the system of fascia. Fascia is in every nook and cranny of our body, and it functions as a system. It's an electrical system. It's a communication system, okay? So I really encourage you guys to full body blast. And this and the Savage Blaster, which I'll show you in a minute, are just amazing because you can do it in about 10 minutes. So with the Paddle Blaster, like look how easy it is to do both legs at the same time, and also just like 360ing the legs really easily. You can come underneath, super simple, right? Or both legs at the same time. Don't think this doesn't happen, because it does. You can also come over two-handed over the low back and into the top of the glute. That is amazing. You can hit the backs of the shoulder blades. Okay, great. Down the sides of the legs. Cross here, cross here. Okay, so that is our biggest small claw tool. All right, so for any of those of you who are just joining us, our small claw tools are for that surface fascia that houses our blood, our little tiny capillaries. It's at the surface of the muscles, lymphatic system, but it doesn't get into the intermuscular fascia like the big claw does. Okay, so that's why we have the big claw, and that's why we recommend both. So for our big claw tools, I'm gonna start with our original Fascia Blaster. All of our tools, just in case you guys don't know, come in black or white. You can just simply select that on the website. So this is the length of the Fascia Blaster, and it has 4 big claws. Now we only had this for several years. So many of the Blaster sisters that you see that have had an incredible result, they had it with just this tool, okay? Fascia Blaster is great because you can use one arm and get the arm, forearm, chest. You can use it on the neck. You can use it on the abs, single-handed on the glute, single-handed on the legs. Get the glute hammy tie-in, hamstrings behind the knees. You can get calves. It's just a really great tool, and I love the leverage. I see you guys talking about the black. I love the black too. The reason, this is my personal collection, and Jordy loves the black, and I do too. I don't know, it's kind of that like gangster feel to it. All right, so in addition to the Fascia Blaster, we have the Mini 1 and the Mini 2, which I love these because you get the deep claw action, but then you also get the nugget tip, which if you guys saw, this is for that stubborn tissue. It's for digging down deep inside to the muscles and really being able to do some detailed work. So these are just kind of great sort of all-in-one tools for that. Now, it's the preference on the size depending on what body part that you're working. I mean, so many people love the Mini 2, but look why. Look how easy it is to do legs. You can hit those IT bands, you can hit those calves, you can get on that booty right here. You know, you can hit the glute hammy tie-in, easy to do inner thigh, you know. And then with the mini one, like I really love it for deeper work on the neck, deeper work on the chest. Look how easy this is for me. And then also, you know, getting down, getting a little low V action in the abs. Yeah. You would obviously do this on bare skin with oil, but nobody needs to see that much of Ashley today. All right, big claw. On to what we call the Big Daddy. And the Big Daddy is exactly the same as the Fascia Blaster, except for that it has 6 claws. So if you are a bigger person or you have limited range of motion in the shoulders, then the Big Daddy is great, because look how easy it is to toss, you know, behind my back and really start to get into, you know, if you're using it for aesthetics, it's easy to get into those love handles right there. If you're using it for low back tension, obviously this is great. You can spend just a few minutes bent over like this and really, really loosen up the back fantastically, right? Awesome for legs, great for behind the legs. Okay, Big Daddy. And if Big Daddy is not enough for you, this year, 2021, we introduced the Savage Blaster. And I love the Savage Blaster because, again, I'm so about that full body blast. And I can do head to toe with the paddle blaster, and then head to toe with the Savage Blaster, and get literally the most amazing full body blast in 10-15 minutes, which who doesn't love that? So I also love this because it has the ability to grip here. It has the ability to grip here. So it just gives you a lot of options in terms of leverage, which is great. And again, this guy can be used all over the body. Just great for really carving out a nice gluteal area, double on the thighs, double on the back of the thighs, you know. And at any age, you guys, not only can we be smooth, which is just beautiful and amazing, but you guys saw at the beginning of the video, we're regenerating the tissue all over the body, which literally has an impact on our health in totality, okay? Can I get some hearts or something for that? All right. And if you have limited range of motion, or you're just really needing to work your own back, we have a set of extender bars, where you can strap these onto any, there's 2 of them, you can strap them onto any tool to extend the length. And so some people use them, you know, really big and use them for their back, you know, and then other people need to be able to reach down like lower on their leg, so you can attach it to like the mini paddle flusher so that you can, you know, reach down lower, or you could attach it to a mini one. Basically anything that has a handle, you can attach that to. All right. And then let's talk really quick about the Nugget tips. And for anybody who's just joining, I've been using this packet of straws to demonstrate the individual muscle fibers surrounded by fascia. That's our intermuscular fascia. And when we use the Nugget tip, we are actually able to penetrate down anywhere that there's damage or tight fascia or an adhesion, and we can use the Nugget to do very, very detailed work. So we decided to sell the Nugget separate. Love this little guy. Where are my therapists at? I know you guys are walking around with it in your, I used to do it like this. And take it to every, I don't even think I could treat somebody at this point without the Nugget tip, but we sell it separate. So if you just want to drop it in your pocket or have it with you, I used to do my hands when I was on flights. See people looking at me like, what are you doing? Mind your business. It's all about the fascia. But we have the Nugget tip in the Nugget. We also have it in the Mini 2, and the Mini 2 has a bigger one for more kind of less detail and more space. And then we have the super detailed tip to go in where we have adhesions, and then we have the larger tip on the mini one as well. But the Mini 2 and the Nugget are the only ones that actually have the smaller tip, which I tend to use the smaller tip more, which is why I put it on the newest tool that we have, which is for this face specifically, the Oh My God Blaster. So let me just introduce you to it, and then later today I'm gonna go in a little bit more in detail. So the OMG Blaster is a single handle with all 5 tips. It's only $99 right now. Insiders only. You guys are all insiders since you follow me. Then you just put each individual tip on to the handle. I just happen to have them all on handle, so I don't have to do that part. So let's just run through what they do. So this is the silicone scrubber. It's medical grade silicone, and you can use it if you want to wash your face with the cleanser. And then, you know, unlike brushes, you just rinse it and all the crud is out of there. So great for getting the face clean, and you definitely want to have a clean face when you're going to blast, because it opens the pores and we don't want a bunch of garbage going in there. So use either my cleanser or a good organic cleanser with the scrubber tip. Then you're going to either use your face blaster. Some people I know are not going to give this up. It's not part of the OMG set. So you can either really get some surface with this, or you can use our new detailed tip, which I love. I've really been using this on the neck because it's just something, I think I overstress my neck, but I get those 2 lines there. Don't love that. So this is great for that. You can use it for the jaw. You can blast the nasolabial folds. It's awesome for the temples. But this is the blaster tool in the Oh My God set, the main blaster tool. Then we have the bunny tip, which all of you who are scared of lip injections like me, this is for those fine lip lines, but it's also awesome along the brow. Makes it really easy to get crow's feet or underneath. When we have that inflammation, we can get some of that temporary blood flow circulating out of there. Then we have the Nugget tip for the face. I have been using this for very detailed work. And look, you guys, I am 50 and I do not have Botox. And these tools work for smoothing out the fascia below the skin, releasing the stem cells into the skin, and remodeling the tissue. Just like in the legs, it happens in the face. All right, then we have the lymphatic flusher. This is sort of my answer to gua sha. You just, and it's also like our mini paddle flusher. This is for the body, where this one is specifically for the face, but I know people are using this on their body. That's okay. Goes great underneath the scapula. But when you use it for the face, you just want to move the fluid up and into those lymphatic drainage dumps. Okay? And then last but not least, you can go back and use our oil, which I'm going to touch on in just a second, with the silicone head. And we know that it's so important for youthful skin. Like if you look at someone's capillaries when they're youthful versus when they're aged, when we're aged, we hardly have any capillaries in that surface of the skin. So we attack it 2 ways. One is with the fascia blasting technique to try to get as much blood from the inside to come to the surface. So kind of like having your river become streams and then little creeks and capillaries. And then if you vigorously scrub with the blaster oil, remembering that the blaster oil has thermogenics, and we'll touch on that in a second, which increases circulation, you scrub very, very vigorously until the face becomes completely red. And that is the process of the OMG Blaster. So do you have to have this instead of the face blaster? No. Are you gonna really be able to do things at the next level and with a lot of ease if you have this and get rid of other tools like gua sha or, you know, the Nugget tip or anything like that? Yes, okay? So 99 bucks, it's a great gift for yourself or someone you love, and then you guys can all compare your results. If you have sisters like me, you know, that's a fun thing to do, is have a little competition going. Okay, real quick, I want to touch on our oils and creams. Thank you so much. I see so many new people joining. This is a good one, you guys, to go back and watch from the beginning, because I really dive into what is happening when you're fascia blasting. And hopefully as you watch this, you can see that fascia blasting just makes logical sense. All of the science and what we saw with collagen production and all that, you don't even need to know that. You just need to understand that basically your fascia is like your hair. You know, there's nothing inherently wrong with people's fascia, just like there's nothing wrong with people's hair. But don't brush your hair for a year and a half and we're gonna see how good it looks. And that's what's happening with our fascia. We just don't address it, and our fascia is meant to be addressed, okay? And then there's a lot of other things that affect our fascia, like food and chemicals and not being exposed to hot and cold and all blah, 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 blah. But super, super important that we brush it. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna brush our hair, brush our teeth, and brush our fascia every day. Slow and steady wins the race to full body regeneration. Okay, so in terms of our oil, we have it in 3 sizes. We have the roll-on, which makes it super simple, no waste. We have the spray-on, which is great if you're trying to get like your back. And then we have the 12 ounce. Now, the reason my oils are a little bit more expensive is because of the raw ingredients. I paid to basically use patented technology of these incredible algae. But what they do is they stimulate blood flow, and they also heat the tissue and have sort of a melting effect on the fat. So it's absolutely, oh, so sorry, I'm reading Carolyn. She's like, is it possible to ask for a beginning ultrasound to document the progress? So I don't know, are you asking if it's, can you go get an ultrasound with a doctor? I'm sure they'd be happy to ultrasound you. But if you want to see ours, I'll show it again before I go totally into our oil. This is an ultrasound of a thigh at baseline, 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. You know, honestly, you guys, just send me my Nobel Prize. Like, nobody has ever been able to accomplish fascia remodeling like this. And again, fascia is kind of like the word of the day, but we're talking about collagen remodeling, you guys. That's what fascia is made of. Over 90% is collagen. So to me, our study is like a game, set, match. And now I'm just trying to make sure that this incredible technology gets in the hands of as many people as possible so that I can help you guys. All right, with our oils, again, there's 3 sizes, and it's super helpful to do it with blasting. It is a big difference. And I made them smell like something I like. I'm a surfer. I love this stuff called sex wax for your board, but it's very beachy, coconutty, and it's a coconut base that we have. Then for after blasting, we have the After Blaster cream, and what it's infused with for all of you who have sensitive tissue, bruising, or just you want to tighten the skin. This is all about healing. It's your vitamin E, it's your aloe, it's your arnica, and then it has skin tighteners. So awesome to put on, particularly if you're really working on your legs. And then to go with our OGM Blaster and Face Blaster, but people are actually using the Extreme Tightening Serum on their face, but also like abs or anywhere that they have loose skin. I saw a little chatting about loose skin earlier. Just by remodeling the fascia, that is the extracellular matrix and the connective tissue that supports the skin. So there's a skin tightening effect with that, but we also want to combat it from the outside in. Carolyn says sex wax. Yes, it has nothing to do with sex. It has to do with your surfboard. But so the Extreme Tightening Serum, it has a 3 to 6 hour effect where as soon as you put it on, it gives you, this instant tightening. And that is from a triple bonded sugar that we used to give that effect, but it doesn't leave any residue on the face. So like literally you can just tap it over makeup. I have really deep set eyes and I tend to get a little fluid here. And so this is super helpful for just giving that lifting effect. But then we also looked at all of the scientific grade botanicals that tighten the skin long term, and we infuse this. So I'm a huge fan of the serum, and compared to other products that do anything like this, and now I know because I know who has the patented technology, we're way cheaper. So I'm just putting that out there. And then last but not least, I'm not going to show every cryo pack that we have, but the system that works the best is heat, and then obviously our oils, the treating with the Fascia Blasters, and then the treatments after with the creams, and then to cool the tissue, okay? Christina Paloma says, what about crow's feet? Girl, you need the Oh My God Blaster bunny tip, okay? It's on the very top of our website. Melissa says, I bought almost all the products this year for my great results, friends and family, now into fascia blasting. Ooh, ooh. Thank you, Crystal Baker, one of our longtime OG Blasters. I see she's in there answering the questions. Honestly, you guys, you know, I know that I'm the owner and the inventor of this, which makes me less believable. So don't believe me. Believe the science and believe the almost 2 million customers that we have that for free get on here and talk about this product because they believe in it so much. So thank you so much to our motivators, Crystal, Justine, you know, all the people that are just out there banging the pavement trying to make sure that other people can experience this type of empowerment. I applaud you. Cryo packs. So what they are is they're basically cold packs for all different parts of the body. This is the face one. I love it because it straps on over your head and you can just walk around with it. But all of these products have tons of gel, which is so important because you can smush it into your face. Or into whatever body part. We have almost triple the amount of gel of most cold packs, and then our gel gets colder, which, you know, Ashley Black is a little bit extreme on everything. So I love that fact that they get colder. And then we've invented something that I just am so proud of, which is an alternative to cryotherapy and cold plunge. And I think everybody here knows that I own a cold plunge and I'm all about it. I mean, I worked with professional athletes and celebrities for 25 years before I started doing the Fascia Blaster. Everybody has sauna for heat and some type of cold therapy. So this is my answer. We have 3 different sizes. This is the biggest. This can just be thrown in the freezer. So it looks like not all that intimidating, but check this out. This is a cryo blanket, okay? So if you can't make it to cryo freeze, you can, like if you blast the crap out of your legs, you can just wrap your whole body up like a burrito and get that cooling effect. It is the most healing thing that you can do for your body after a workout or after fascia blasting, hopefully both. I'd love to see you guys work out and fascia blast, then cold therapy. That is really the process. And we have some new ones, you guys. We've got ones that strap onto the shoulder. We've got a great pack that is for the abs and the low back. So if you want to incorporate that, that's great. And just know that I have put most of my packages together to include a small claw tool, a big claw tool, some type of oil sample, as well as a cryo pack. So I really do try to give you guys exposure to all the various products. And I'm gonna actually go back and answer some questions. I have a rogue door over here that's trying to open on me. So let me brace that and then I'll scroll back through the comments and see if I can't answer some of you guys' questions. For those of you who don't know, I live in Costa Rica, and this time of year we get these crazy winds called the papagayo winds, and it just whips through the house. All right, let me get you guys closer and get on some glasses. Okay, I'm gonna start with Christina Paloma. She says, what about the 11s on the face between the eyebrows? So anybody who's really wanting to do detail stuff on the face, I'm gonna recommend 2 products. I'm gonna recommend the OMG Blaster because it has all of these tips, and I'm gonna recommend the serum, okay? Because all of these tools here, these are the ones that can help smooth the fascia. Remember, we're talking about fascia that's just below the skin. that can get these little adhesions and pull the skin in and also limit the blood flow, okay? If you've got fascia that's like this, obviously you're not going to be getting blood into the capillaries. And so that has so much to do with the quality of the skin, because that's how we deliver oxygen and nutrients and elastin, right? So, I'm sorry, that's how we deliver, that's why I stopped for a second. We deliver the collagen to the elastin that's already there, and then that collagen and elastin is like the most beautiful mix of everything. So if you're wanting to focus on 11s, in terms of the Oh My God Blaster, this one was like literally made for the 11s. You can go this way, and you can go this way. Love it for the nasolabial folds too. I don't tend to get the wrinkles here so much. I get them above the brows, and then I get the jowls. So for me, it's all about this guy, going to town on the jowls, because I am not trying to look like a bulldog when I am 60. All right, let me see. If you ask a question, ask it again if I didn't answer. So Nina Evans says, so tell me why the claws crack on the blasters. So just so you know, Nina, they not all blasters crack, but just trust me, I know more about injectable mold plastics than I could ever want. So when these are, it's a very fast injection of heat, and just inherent to all injectable plastics, there can sometimes be bubbles. So if a bubble happens to fall at an infrastructure point on the blaster claw, then it can get cracks. But that is why we have a 1,000-day guarantee, and you just simply return it and we'll fix it. But that is an era of margin that is about 6%, even when we are super, super careful. It's just the nature of injectable plastics. Let's see. Hello, Brenda Tyler. Hello, Darlene Dotson, who says the Oh My God Blaster is amazing. Lisa Stagel-Bennick says, what about the bridge of the nose? So here's the thing. If you have bone, then obviously the Fascia Blaster is not going to do anything with that. But I really do have some amazing pictures of people who have been able to thin the nose a bit just by getting the fascia to lay flatter. And I would use this one. I would use this one and maybe even this one. And these again are your new OMG heads. So I hope you guys get it. It's on sale for 99 bucks. Get it. It's a one-time purchase. We've got Medicar Messina, who has had issues with neck due to pinched nerve. So just remember that, I don't know where the nerve is pinched, but nerves can be pinched inside the fascia, and they can also be impinged where the nerve root is inside the spine. But if you're, anytime that we're trying to create space, the looser the fascia, the better. And if it is in the disc, herniations or whatever is impeding, as long as it's not a fracture poking it, then fascia can't do anything for that. But if you just need the space and you need to repair the disc, by using, I mean, for neck, like I said earlier, I love the Master Blaster. It's just awesome for the neck. By restoring that temporary blood flow to the site and also loosening and remodeling the fascia, you have the perfect environment for your body to heal. And trust me, our bodies want to heal. We want to have disc. We want to have blood flow. We just have, you know, compounded our poor bodies, and it's time to treat them better. Okay. Sherry Lee says, I noticed last time I blasted my shins in the front of them, turned white for a bit, and then flushed back red. So I love when things are turning white or red, because it just tells us so much. So if you start blasting an area and it is really, really white, most likely the blood underneath is trying to get up, and it'll turn you ghost white in certain areas that it's not reaching. And then eventually, as the blood really starts coming, you'll see it repopulate that area. So the white tissue is kind of a sign that that's somewhere you want to keep going on. Okay, let's see. People are talking about using the OMG for their legs, which is great. I mean, I am loving this single claw for, you know, fingers and, you know, neck and, You could use it, you know, on your ribs or anywhere. It's just a smaller fascia blaster. So feel free to use the OMG blaster anywhere you want. Talk to me about side boob. Okay, so first of all, Vanessa is concerned about damaging a lymph. You have to understand that unless you were to take a nugget and ram it as hard as you could all the way up, I mean, first of all, our lymph nodes are so deep. If you're using a fascia blasting technique, you cannot damage a lymph node. The fascia blaster just won't reach there, you know, so feel free to go all up and down here with the side boob. Just by wearing bras, particularly where my big booby girl's at, you know, our bras really pinch our fascia. And usually when I do the side boob area, I bruise. That's the one area on my body that's just a constant struggle because of bras. Now, I'm lucky I live here in Costa Rica and don't ever leave the house because I don't wear that bra very often. But side boob and lymph, don't even worry about it. Just make sure you blast and just don't ever jab any type of nugget directly into a lymph node. But we don't need to be overly cautious about that. It's just, they're pretty deep in the body. Hello from Wisconsin. Just got my first, oh, for some reason it won't let me open the whole message. I'm so sorry, Sue. Okay, great question. Pia Friedrich says, can you use the tools on your face if anybody has dye sport and or Botox? So let me say this, you know, we have done no formal studies on this, but I do have many friends that are plastic surgeons, and over the years I've had filler here. I've used, you know, Botox since I was 25. I just stopped with the pandemic. But by and large, what they're telling me is that if you have Botox, as long as it's not within the first few days, that you can blast with Botox. But with fillers, they don't want to see any of that filler move. So I would just shy away from it. So say if you have filler here or here, you can blast, just blast not directly on where the filler is, okay? And lips, I would totally stay away from until the filler wears off, and then you can try this, because this will actually have a plumping effect as well as the fine lines. So I know for me, I'm trying to avoid lip filler. I just don't look good with it. I tried it before and I just did not like it. All right. Yes, also people are saying don't drop the blasters. Like, yeah. Tristine Carter says, when will you offer free shipping again? Never. I'm never going to offer free shipping. We just have to charge shipping, particularly with what's going on right now in the world. We cannot consume that cost unless you want to pay $200 for the Fascia Blaster and get free shipping. Anybody who is in the shipping business right now can tell you that the world has gone mad. Oh, she said, oh my God, my lymph massage lady on my shoulders yesterday. It was horrible, hurt, a fascia mess. So Paula, what I would say is that sometimes when people are doing manual therapy, particularly if that surface fascia is really tangled, like some people can handle super deep pressure, and some people, if this is a mess, it's super, super painful. So what I would say is for you to get a small claw tool like the face blaster or the paddle blaster, and then literally you barely have to push to get a result, if that is the case for you. Massages and lymphatic draining should not be painful, okay? So maybe back out, maybe bring her a paddle blaster and just tell her to use it on you softly, because we definitely do not want to see you be in pain, and we also don't want to see your fascia VMS, so definitely don't avoid it. Okay. Sophie Ritchie says, my chiropractor does NUCC, which is this. I don't know what NUCC is, but wonderful. She says that you can absolutely heal your back pain, which obviously we have seen tons and tons of results with that. And anybody out there who is a chiropractor or sees a chiropractor, we have partnered with Parker University, and we will be certifying chiropractors in the first quarter of 2022. So tell them to start following me so that they can get the details. We want to empower those doctors to do it better. Roisin says, fascia blasting with cupping together are a must. I agree. I love them. How does it help to blast lips? Erica GZZ says, it's just like any other fine line that's caused by the fascia. We can smooth things out. What about bruising? Tish, I'm gonna send you the news on the bruise, or jump on the bruise cruise. Is somewhat normal. Severe bruising, you need to chillax, but when we break up fascial adhesions and restore the blood flow, there is some inherent bruising, and also with cupping. But you know, I just think that society's got to get on with knowing that that is part of the process, and it's actually quite healthy. And that's why we have products like the After Blaster, so that you can kind of minimize that. So what I would say is little cheetah spots are normal, but if you have giant bruises, you want to just back out and go like a little bit at a time. Tammy Trinka says, can you blast directly under the eyes? One of my big motivations for this one, Trina, which is, I'm sorry, Tammy Trinka, which is part of the OMG tools, is for this under eye area, because when you use an actual blaster, then it, you know, it's kind of like part of it wants to poke up in your eye. So I love this tool for under eyes. And just remember, you know, with swelling, like anything else, or any other part of the body, what you want to do is flush the blood to the area so that the blood can actually move out the bags. Hello, Barbara Millington. Hello, Jacina. Hello, Nancy Borgman. Sherry Lee says, okay, great, my shins are badly bound. Most people's shins are badly bound. And by the way, I always tell people, you know, we have to understand with our thighs, we have so many people that go after cellulite on their thighs and don't do their calves and shins. The blood has to make its way all the way down to the feet and then get venous return. So doing the lower leg is, for the upper leg, is just as important as doing the upper leg. So everybody make sure you're blasting full leg. All right, Joan Phillips, I'm gonna do it just for you, but I did already do it. This guy is amazing for the 11s. This direction and this direction. I think there's probably 30 people on here that would tell you that they got rid of their 11s doing this. All right, I'm gonna take one more question. Anything that I didn't answer though, you guys can go to my incredible staff, DM me, and they will send you videos, pictures, and responses to anything that you guys want to know. My goodness, there's like a million questions here. Somebody, Patty Cotton says, you are amazing. If that's directed at me, thank you very much. Felice Eve says, I'm new. How would you do the stomach? So Felice, I don't know if you missed the beginning. This is I'm going to post it as soon as I'm done. It's a really good one to just take a moment and go back and watch and really understand fascia. But we want to use a small claw and a big claw tool. So my two favorite for the abdominals is the Master Blaster, which just fell on my foot during the which is this small claw tool. It's called the Master Blaster, because you can blast up and down, you can blast side to side, and then you can also blast in the diagonal. And then for the deeper tissue, I like the Mini 2, because it's just super easy to really get in there and scrub. And then it has a nugget tip, so if you have any stretch marks or scars or any stubborn spots, you've got all that you need with these two tools. This is my favorite for the stomach. My people on here might disagree, but that's the ones that I like. I actually am thinking about using the Oh My God Blaster and going back and like really using this for the C-section and inside the hips. So I'll keep you posted. I designed all this stuff for the face, but it might also be amazing for the body. All right, last one, kids. Roisin Bricker says, all the fascia is connected throughout the body. A must to do the whole body most of the time. I agree. If anybody said, Ashley, what is the best thing that I can do for my overall health and what tools do I need? You're going to get this advice from me. Paddle Blaster and Savage Blaster, because in terms of health, treating fascia as a system is just absolutely amazing. All right, guys, I hope you have the most incredible Friday. Guess what, ladies? TGIF. I hope you have a wonderful Friday and a fantastic week. And don't forget that we sell gift certificates. We have a lot of specials right now, and we've got New Year, New You coming up mid-January, and you're gonna wanna make sure you have everything that you need. And I hate to tell you this, but the way shipping is going, not us, UPS, you just need to get all of your stuff now. So if there's anything that you've been fiending for, now is the time. And then I'll see all of you for all of the wonderful live feeds and tutorials in January. And I'll also see you guys later today. I'm gonna come back on and talk more about the OMG Blaster. So please, please share this video and share that one, and just give the gift of health and empowerment to people that you care about. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.